Hey, this is Dr. PK from Dr. PK Live, and I hope you guys are enjoying Saturday. Um, and this video is about people who take insulin for their diabetes control. And in this video, I'm going to talk about why post meal insulin is not advised. And it's a common issue because of lack of education and lack of information given to patient, or sometimes there's a communication gap. But I wanted you guys to be smarter about it, so that if you are doing it, you should stop it, and I'm going to explain in detail why you should not. So normally, people who are on insulin, they are on long acting insulin called basal insulin, which provides the basal coverage of your blood sugar. Just like it mimics the natural insulin release in body. And then you have um, pre-meal sugar, pre-meal insulin, short acting, like Humalog or Novolog or Epidra or Fiasp, short acting insulin. They last for 4 hours. You take it before meal, okay, before breakfast, before lunch, and before dinner, 15 minutes before. So that's when it should be taken. But some people, they are checking their blood sugar, and blood sugar is high 2 hours after their meal. They try to take another bolus according to a sliding scale, which sounds logical, but it's dangerous. It's not advised. And sometimes they forgot their pre-meal, and then they try to correct it by taking post-meal insulin, but that's not correct either. So I'm going to discuss that in more details. I'm going to break this down for you, why you should avoid taking extra insulin after a meal to correct high blood sugar, although it sounds very logical, but it's not advisable, and the science does not support it. So how the body handles food and insulin. Now, when you eat your food, of course, there are carbohydrates. That's what raising your blood sugar, and body starts breaking them down into glucose molecules quick. And this glucose enters in your bloodstream within few minutes. Rapid acting insulin like Humalog, Novolog, Fias, Epidra, they work differently, and they start working within 10 to 15 minutes, 20 minutes. They peak within 2 to 3 hours, and they continue working for 4 hours, because the food rises fast. The sugar from the food rises fast, and insulin works slow. Giving insulin after eating causes a mismatch, and the glucose is already going up, but insulin has not even started acting. Now, in case you have taken pre-meal insulin, that insulin is acting the way it's supposed to, but if you take it to correct your post-meal hyperglycemia 2 hours later, and that insulin will continue to work for another 4 hours, but in the meantime, the blood sugar is going to come down, and the peak in the insulin, second insulin, is going to cause hypoglycemia. So what happens when you bolus after the meal? If you inject insulin after eating, glucose spikes quickly, insulin lags behind, then insulin peaks later, leading to delayed hypoglycemia because insulin is still active even after the glucose has dropped. This is one of the biggest reason post-meal corrections are not advised, discouraged. So insulin stacking, this term is called insulin stacking. So most people check their glucose 1 to 2 hours after eating. Now, because of continuous glucose monitoring and the coverage is getting better and better, lots of people have them now, Libre and Dexcom and others as well. And if the number is still high, they often take more insulin. They've already taken pre-meal insulin, then take extra dose, they want to correct it because it sounds logical, right? To correct the extra, to take extra insulin to bring the blood sugar down. But the thing is that the first dose is still active, and you have given second dose. So you're stacking two doses of short-acting insulin. It leads to what? It leads to unpredictable glucose level. It causes crashes, severe hypoglycemia, emergency room visit, nighttime lows, overeating to fixed lows, weight gain, wide glucose swings. So stacking is responsible for majority of insulin-related hypoglycemia cases. So post-meal correction create a roller coaster pattern. So every meal becomes a cycle. High, you take extra insulin. Then blood sugar goes low, you eat extra, overeating, then high again, and this whole thing continues. So because of so much fluctuation, it causes blood vessel damage, it raises your A1C, increases inflammation, makes diabetes harder to control, manage, and exhausts patient mentally. So thing is that our goal is predictable glucose, not chasing numbers. That's why post-meal glucose is high, then if consistently high, then you have to make adjustment in your eating, what you're eating, or you have to make correction in your pre-meal insulin next time. So what is the proper method for pre-meal planning? Well, correct strategy is this. This is what I teach my patient. You check your glucose before meals. Calculate insulin dose, short-acting insulin dose, based on the sliding scale I provide to my patient. And give yourself insulin if pre-meal sugar is high according to the sliding scale. Okay? And you should avoid any correction for 4 hours after the dose. For 4 hours, you cannot make any correction. So that's the rule. You have to wait for 4 hours. After 4 hours, you keep those numbers and bring to your doctor so that they can make adjustment. Maybe most likely you need changes in your long-acting insulin, because if you are having persistent hyperglycemia, even 4 hours later, that means your basal insulin dose got to go up, or maybe you need to change what you're eating, right? Now, what happens if you forget your mealtime insulin? Okay, you can still take it within 10 to 15 minutes of starting your meal. Okay, that's the rule, which happens, when people have life and think sometimes they forget. They're busy, the kids and work and things like that. But if it is beyond that, don't do it. Don't take it. Don't take extra insulin. Don't compensate for not taking pre-meal insulin. Make sure you don't miss it. Make sure you have a reminder. Make sure you have an alarm on, set in your phone, right? Now, so other thing is that who should never correct soon after meals. So they are high risk group: elderly people, children, teens, those with the kidney disease, patients who is not aware about hypoglycemic symptoms, type 1 diabetes, people who are on fast insulin, like they're still faster than Humalog and Novolog. It's called FIASP. FIASP is faster. And there's another one called Limzev. Limzev, there's another ultra fast acting. Now, these people, children, teens, elderly, those with the kidney disease, type 1, they have unpredictable absorption and insulin sensitivity. That's why they are higher risk. Okay, so American Diabetes Association and American